All right, we are back. Blessings, greetings, and wholeness. Hoping everybody's out there good. Everybody's, you know, within their right sound of mind. All of that good stuff. So we're just gonna get right back into it. We're gonna pick up where we left off on I believe it's part two. So remember, the question that we're asking now is: Is the awareness that HC Haley Comet brings to people who claim they didn't know about Adriana Young's unfortunate demise, is the awareness that she brings to the table, does it supersede the harm and the detriment that she so often, in the cases that she attaches herself to, does it cause more harm? Is she helping or is she hindering? Now, quick side note, only because I was listening to a particular podcaster's message this morning. And I want to say to you, podcasters and you content creators out there, especially you that look like this, right? You're really doing a disservice to our culture and our people by continuing to acknowledge and promote HC, because I don't believe enough of you really do the research and going down the rabbit hole to understanding who she is and all of the detriment she has caused to so many other cases. So I just wanted to put that out there to the to the particular sister with the podcast that's talking about the bullying. And we need to really, and I know that this particular woman is a smart woman, per my standards, how she articulates her words. But just because one articulates well doesn't always mean that they are working it with all of the faculties that they are given for righteousness. And what I mean by that is some people, no matter how they present themselves, even if they present themselves wonderfully, um, they are still working to get following, and it's disappointing. So when one uses the term bullying, we need to be very careful about that, because there is a lot of people out here that are not bullying, such as myself. What this work is awareness, because Haley Comet is a parasite. Haley Comet is hurting people, and what she's doing is not true crime. So this is not bullying. Bullying is what she and her sycophants do when they constantly are in other people's lives and going around and spreading out this hatred for people that bring awareness, people that pose the questions, people that start to ask and wonder, hey, that doesn't make sense. Hey, but you said this and you did that. Like, that's bullying. Her attacking people with disabilities, all kind of things that this woman does that's so unprofessional. While she claims to be a professional, she's claiming to be a criminologist. So I just wanted to bring that out. So this time I'm not going to talk as much because I always say that, but I do. So we just want to get right into some facts. Since we're bullying, so that people say, which we're not, or at least I'm not. I want to play something for y'all because remember that we left off talking about Alana and the money. So we're segueing into hopefully the end of these installments, because everything that HC does, it's driven behind the fact that she has Live Pro tagged on her moniker on TikTok. She is monetized. She needs to reach a certain amount of, I believe it's diamonds. I don't know if it's daily, weekly, or whatever, but I'm told by people that understand that algorithm, she has to make a quota. And if she doesn't make that quota because her content is that engaging, is that interesting, then she's going to lose that Live Pro and she's going to lose her money. She said herself, TikTok is her job. So when you're saying you're covering cases and you're invested from an emotional, which you shouldn't be emotional, but you're invested like from a heartfelt space, then if that's the case, then regardless of whether you get the likes, the follows, the diamonds, none of that matters. But when you're doing it because you need to hit a quota, then we have to ask ourselves, is it really genuine? All of this reporting and so forth. So anyway, remember now we talked before about her arguing with the family members. And these are the patterns in every case that she has. Haley Comet winds up attacking many family members. And the family members, by the end of the case, or even in the middle of the case, want nothing to do with Haley. So we're talking about patterns the last conversation. So here's a pattern on Haley. And this person, like I mentioned in the last one, is Alana Trotz. This is the blood cousin of Adriana, who had the legitimate GoFundMe. So when we're talking about this money and all of these content creators that I'm listening to their content and their Haley didn't do this and Haley and she raised this money, But why did she raise the money? Because she took a large chunk of it. It was a lot of money that was unaccounted for. But nobody wants to talk about that. You people that are riding the Haley Comet train, you're not addressing the fact that she is benefiting, she is profiting off of the back of other people's pain and attacking the mother and the father. So with that being stated, let's run this where it's acknowledged by the blood cousin who was on the ground with Amisha, as I mentioned before, in protesting in the parade and officially raising money for her little cousin.
Of the screenshots of money that was sent to her personal checking account. But those receipts also
I didn't mean to pause that.
show.
Her personal checking
But
account.
listen though, no shade
Her personal
and
checking
no
account.
negativity. I'm just speaking what I have seen and what has been sent to me. And it also shows her personal transactions, Uber,
Uber Eats is blanking out, but she's saying Uber Eats.
food being ordered in the same history transaction. I'm just speaking my truth on what I have, and I'm saying if you're doing it for others, you do it for yourself. That's all I'm saying. So it is what it is. Ain't nobody coming for Haley because I know she's listening. It's gonna be something tomorrow. That's why I stay off of it because it doesn't matter what you say.
Hello. And now that she know that you was on here,
I'm
she'll
sure there's
probably
gonna
make
be a
a video
video
of both of us.
before midnight. I guarantee you, there's going
Yeah.
to be that about Haley,
Cause
but I'm
she
not.
likes that. She likes it.
I'm just
I give
answering
her a lot.
questions.
Poochie, how much?
He said, just leave off her. It's unfair. What
Hold
is
on a
unfair?
man.
Who's
Listen,
Angela?
Poochie has stated Angela still needs to prove the GoFundMe didn't have any donations.
But they can hold. They can
How
pull
much
up the
funds?
GoFundMe. The GoFundMe is
They-
public information.
No, the one
It's
that
public. It's
Angela,
public. Yeah.
this young lady here, the host, our hostess, the one that she set up and it only lasted for a day. How much funds, Poochie, do you expect to have been in the GoFundMe?
She wanted to be fifty
She
thousand
doesn't
dollars.
realize that
That's a point to prove. But
it
you
was
can't make zero into
Poochie,
50,000. How can you do that?
Poochie, the
Did this lady ever
GoFundMe
went to
was
school?
funded after
Actually,
10
She went to
hours,
Adriana,
school?
8
what
hours.
do you want from me? Strings and things.
Now, listen,
So just a little real quickly, just a little context. First of all, this live that was hosted a month and a half or two ago was hosted by Two and Angela. So just for context, this is before people really knew her veil was lifted and people could start to see that this lady wasn't all the way there, for lack of better terms, right? So this is and to and Angela hosted a live to call out HC and those funds that she raised, which she actually acknowledged in a live at one point that it was a total of about $9,000, but she only gave close to 6,000 to the family. And this is Alana Trotz who came up in the box because I don't know if she was invited or she was listening on the outside. Either way, she came up to give the facts about what happened with the money and how that whole thing transpired with HC raising the funds. And during that time, the group that I was attached to was calling her out about we were listening to the live and we heard all of the thousands of dollars that you raised. So we were the my tribe was pressing Haley to account for all of the funds because we by that point knew that this is something she does in every case. She utilized monetary capital to seep into family members, especially during horrific times where you have to fight for justice and where people need money to go into legal standings. So this is her pattern. So this was a conversation that Two and Angela before people knew she was, you know, not all there for lack of better terms. So this is Alana just kind of giving her perspective. She's not taking a side. She just wanted people to know the facts. And the gentleman is asking Two and Angela. So at that time, a lot of people didn't know that Two and Angela had created her own GoFundMe that mysteriously dissipated, and she is yet to show the receipts on whether she received money or not. So that gentleman is actually talking to Two and Angela. Two and Angela, I believe, might have known that he was talking to her directly, but she was trying to redirect it and dilute it to make it seem like that was directed towards Alana. But he was talking to Angela just for context.
Strings
Not just
coming for me, and I love it. I love it. You hate me so much. I'm so sorry for you that you have so much hate in your heart. But I will pray for you though. You got so much hate in your heart, strings and things. I'm saying that's what it said, right? Strings and don't come to me. Strings and things.
yeah.
Alana, I have one more
Yes,
question
love.
for you, my love. So the GoFund the autopsy, the second autopsy that was done in Georgia, that autopsy was paid from the monies that Hayley sent, or the autopsy was paid
Have to
2
be
days
paid
prior
before.
to
Just put it this way: things have
Hayley's
to be
money
paid
being
before
sent.
it was even performed.
Thank you, Alana.
The
Thank
part of the
you.
GoFundMe money that
I can
I
give you a
sent to
big
my
old
cousin
hug.
was paid because it cost 4 million Guyana to embalm the body. First of all, okay. When people start talking about the
Exactly.
families
I
all
know
for
that.
collecting money, it costs a lot more to travel a deceased body.
Because I lost my brother, and then I lost two other brothers in a fire in Guyana. You know, Haley got on the live this morning. She started talking about my dead family members thrown into my face. This lady, she has to be a very horrible person to talk about people, dead relative, people being disabled.
Now let's take a pause because that's just showing this is Angela back then, but now we know we've progressed and we know the Angela now. So there's the hypocrisy. And this is what I'm saying with people. I'm really questioning the state of mind of people in its totality. But aside from that, I want to address what Alana said. Alana said the second autopsy that was performed in Gwinnett County, Atlanta, well, on the outskirts of Atlanta, Lawrenceville, Georgia, that second autopsy had to be paid before that baby could even leave Guyana soils. Plus the embalming that needed to take its place while Adriana Younge was still on Guyanese soil. So let it be for the record. We heard Alana Trotz, who is their blood cousin. This is Amisha Simon, Adriana's mother's cousin. Their the mother, the brother, the mother and the brother of these two individuals are siblings. That's how they're cousins. So remember now we're jumping through this. Remember, Hayley Comet got into it with Alana, and here's Alana stating that, and this is why Alana and she got into it because Alana was sick and tired of Hayley Comet giving misinformation, kind of dragging her family through the mud, trying to take accountability and ownership and get accolades for things that she truly did not do. Yes, she raised money, but some of that money she used for herself. So this is Alana Trotz setting the record straight. But you all say we're bullying her because we're bringing awareness to this woman because this woman is really expounded, is really expanded and broadened her horizons of misinformation as it pertains to any and all cases that she aligns herself with. But right now, we're focused on Adriana case, and the goal is to make awareness to other families so they don't have to go through all of this unnecessary drama. People need help in their times of grievances, not hindrances. So again, we heard Alana say that money was given to pay for the autopsy before they left. We're going to make sure you remember that because we're going to watch a video that contradicts that. And this is why Alana needed to come up and speak the truth.
Or to travel a deceased body.
Because I lost my brother, and then I lost two other brothers in a fire in Guyana. You know, Haley got on the live this morning. She started talking about my dead family members thrown into my face. This lady, she has to be a very horrible person to talk about people, dead relative, people being disabled. Oh my goodness, like I'm getting a headache from talking about this
You
woman.
know what really ticked me off with him?
But mind you, and this is not about Two and Angela, this installment, that's another installment. But mind you, Two and Angela has done now that we've seen some extreme, it just, if not worse, equal egregiouses such as Hayley Comet. Like people are very interesting. I just wanted to say that.
She made a very racial comment towards, listen, regardless if the grandmother's involved or not, again, everybody has their own opinion. I do as well. I just go with facts, right? I go with what I hear, what I see, if your story is consistent or not. And when there's inconsistency, my brain automatically goes, that don't seem right. That's not what you said in the first one. That's not what you said in the second one. That's how I operate.
Correct.
Springs and things onto some things.
Listen,
Things onto some things.
Angie.
Yes.
If the grandmother had anything to do with the granddaughter's demise, then she possibly had something to do with all the other incidents that took place at the venue then. Did she?
They just want to collect, cut, and dry. I mean, if you want to contribute to it, go right ahead. But if you have nothing nice to say, I suggest you don't.
I'm gonna let
It costs a lot to fight for justice. And I find it funny, those who are not even contributing have a whole lot of nonsense to say.
Hello.
But when it happens to them, it's going to be something else, right? It's going to be, they're going to drop to their knees. They're going to want to call, Jesus Christ, Allah, whomever else they pray to. They're going to want to call everybody and their mama. People don't understand. This could be right at your doorstep.
Yeah. But
Never in a million years I expect my family to go through something like this. Never in a million years I expect my cousin to lose her daughter at 11 years old in such a tragic way. And for people to still be so nasty about it. There's still 2 other siblings that she has to take care of. They're not working. They're trying to fight for justice for their kids, as any person would.
Correct.
As any mother and father would. And if you can't do that for your kids, I'm sorry. I feel sorry for your kids. I wouldn't want to be your mom. I wouldn't want to be your daughter. If you wouldn't fight for your child the way my cousin and Sue Bryan fought for their daughter, man, just go somewhere with yourself. Just go put yourself on an island surrounded by some gators and try to swim to the other land and see what happens to you. Like, that's just, you don't have a heart. You can't kids and still be so nasty towards my family and towards Adriana. Like, that just baffles me. And you have grown-ass adults, grown-ass people on live all day long and all night. Like, they ain't got nothing else to do but just be nasty to people. Your mother and father never taught you if you got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all?
Yes.
Like, come on.
So Alana, I have Melissa on here. Melissa is gonna tell you what I was saying earlier when Melissa asked me, "Can we send you the money, Angela?" On what I said.
You said no.
Hi, Melissa.
No, you said, and I go and I say I have somebody here that you can get a family member get the family member number, and I get the number and send it to somebody here so you can get on to the mother or the father. So I don't understand why people get
These people are miserable. These people are very miserable adults that have nothing else in life to do but be miserable. That's what it is. And misery has company, and I ain't in it. I ain't it.
But they need to, at least Mark need to remove your picture and the post from his page.
Once I get the
on TikTok at this moment.
Yeah, once I get the GoFundMe account receipt, and I talk to the lawyer, then every one of them, and the same guy's fired. The guy's promoting a lot of bad things on his show. This man has his daughter sitting in his lap, and he's bashing women. What is he teaching this young girl? That's very concerning to me as a parent. And you know, Alana, Amika's going through a lot. And everybody else, all you guys, just encourage each other to be focused, because I see where this is going. The people that are coming here and sticking for you guys and advocating and want justice so badly for Adriana, they're trying to detour us to a different direction, but we're not doing it. We're not going to do it.
But I agree with her cousin because Then you go on the net and see the nastiness, the person, it is
He posts a lot of bad things about you
it's
guys.
disgusting. And no, I'm talking about the Adriana family.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
people that posting things about them is disgusting, it's distasteful and sickening to even sit and watch. And I'm talking
Evil
about yes,
people.
I'm talking speaking about women.
Yes.
Also, there's some men going on like they get on panty. You understand
Black
about?
cloth.
Yes.
So I'm gonna take a pause for the pause there because it looks like it's more that Alana said, but I think we heard the prevalent parts. That was what really needed to be heard, which was the autopsy was already paid for. So let's make sure we stay on par with that because the autopsy had already been paid for. Now let's get to where she stated, Haley stated she paid for the autopsy.
Everyone in here who donated to 2 nights ago, you paid for this autopsy so that she could get the truth, and that's massive. Like, you will always have that. But this just showed that in Guyana, you can bring in specialists from outside of Guyana, including America. They can come into your country.
Let's run that again.
And everyone in here who donated to 2 nights ago, you paid for this autopsy so that she could get the truth, and that's massive. Like, you will always have that.
Now this is something that she does in every case. There is always her doing crowdfunding efforts, and there's always a mix up when it comes to the money where she may, from what I know, give a certain amount, but money always is unaccounted for. So we just heard she said she had those people believing that she paid for the autopsy, the second autopsy. Now, to those of us going to say that she might have been scammed, because I've heard that conversation as well. If that's the case, and the person that she was communicating with, we all know was the cousin on Brian's side, which is Angie, who has been very vocal in her wanting justice for Adriana on Five Feelings show, even on Mark Benchop's Straight Up with Mark Benchop's show. Um, so that's something if for people to think about. I'm not accusing Angie of anything, but for those that are going to say that Haley was scammed, that is a byproduct, or one would be alluding to, well, if Haley got scammed for the money, to make it seem as though there was this sense of urgency that she built the night before the autopsy, that without that money, the autopsy wouldn't have transpired, then that would pose the question to one of sound logical mind is, why does she create such an urgency? Why does she feel that she would be the one responsible to ensure that Adriana Younge had her second autopsy? What gave her that information or that idea? So these are things that we have to unpack, But the focus of the matter is that she did not pay for the second autopsy. And to this day, if she was on vacation, if she was really on holiday, but she was showing, she was outside and saying, I paid for the second autopsy. And Sir Brian hasn't even thanked me. So let's just keep running these clips because this is all just awareness. Awareness, right? Now, this is her and Alana. At this point, it had gotten so heightened between them because she was still spewing out information after family asked HC, to just clear off, back up off of it. This is Hayley Comet arguing with a blood family member. That is the most unprofessional thing I could ever imagine from a person who's claiming to be professionally reporting on a case. Let's take a listen.
Sue Brian, if I let people listen to your voice note that you left Sue Brian back to back to back to back, you're obsessed with Sue Brian. You're obsessed with the family. If people hear your conversation that you was harassing Sue Brian, I heard it all. Oh my God! Let's not go there. You're obsessed. Do not come for somebody and expect them to pop down. Haley, you inserted yourself into some family shit.
One more time.
Or your voice notes that you sent to Sue Brian. You're obsessed with Sue Brian. If I let people listen to your voice note that you left Sue Brian back to back to back to back, you're obsessed with Sue Brian. You're obsessed with the family.
let's keep the party rolling. I'm going to run a few other clips that are going to back up what we're saying about. She knew about the GoFundMe, but yet and still she still told people to send money to her personal bank account. Now I know she stated that they needed the money, that sense of urgency, that false sense of urgency. Let me say that she created for her followers and her devotees to give thousands of dollars. She literally created that urgency, but you already knew that there was a GoFundMe. So again, the questions, it's just a lot of questions that we're asking. So I would love for you all to leave a comment and let's engage. I'm curious to know, why are people still, with all of this evidence, not just with this case, but on so many other cases, the Nicola Bully case, the Jay Slater case, the John George case, so many other cases where it is stated, it is clearly brought to the light that Haley has really been more of a detriment than a helpmate to these families while they're going through grievances. So remember now, Alana stated that all of the money wasn't accounted for. Alana and her were just arguing because Alana was over her in all the things that she's done. She stated that she paid for the autopsy. Now, this is another recording of one of her, I would call it her, I won't say it, one of her people that was defending her. But listen to what this person, Ellie, says in a live.
Earlier. So everyone keeps talking about how Hayley was raising this money and the second autopsy was already paid for. That was miscommunication with the family and Hayley, because nobody told her that the money shouldn't have gone to wherever it's gone. Nobody.
Now let's remember, we're unpacking. Remember, during this time, for those that are privy to all this information, Haley was constantly going on lives, making it seem like she was talking directly to the lawyer. Literally during this time, she was talking directly to the mother, which she wasn't. She was talking to all of these family members and making it seem like she was in the nucleus of this active investigation. So the question that we ask ourselves is, if she was truly so entrenched in the nucleus of the family and the business, then how did she not know that the second autopsy in Gwinnett County was already paid for? So that's the question that I pose. What was the intention behind raising all of that money? Was it truly just to help the family, or was it an avenue for her to receive profit from doing crowdfunding? But this is her person that's acknowledging that they weren't aware that the autopsy had already been paid for, but yet she told people she paid for the second autopsy. That's technical difficulties.
Nobody knows what's happened to this money. It's been sent to the family. We've showed proof earlier that it was sent to the family. So everyone keeps talking about.
Wait, can you, since you're going to speak about that, can you specify? We need specification. So family is a very generalized term. So can you specify exactly who the money was sent to and what was the amount?
It was sent to Angie. I don't know the specific amount, but I know it was 5,900 and something.
Exactly how much was it, and exactly how much was their receipts to show all of the incoming money that came to HC's personal banking information that we saw her give for you all to raise? Has anybody verified that, Ellie?
That was sent to the family, yeah. But the receipt we showed was the money being sent to Ange. Hayley's personal bank details doesn't need to be broadcasted everywhere. She's showed the receipt that she's sent the money. The family have said that they've sent.
Ellie, can I just interject? It was written on a piece of paper that anybody can just write on. So when you're talking about a receipt, I just wanted to say that.
No. We posted the PayPal screenshots earlier on the Readers Kings Live showing the money going to Ange. But I had scribbled out her name because it shows Angie's real name.
All right, one more time for the beginning for those who may not have heard it. This young lady, Elle, very clearly about the money and the fact that they didn't know.
Told Hayley this. Nobody did. Alana confirmed that on the live earlier. So everyone keeps talking about how Hayley was raising this money and the second autopsy was already paid for. That was miscommunication with the family and Hayley, because nobody told her that the money shouldn't have gone to wherever it's gone. Nobody.
So you all, are you all following this crap show of misinformation? Just it's too much unnecessary stuff attached to a person that should only be reporting on true crime. Now remember, now we got all of these questionable acts. Now let's take a listen to her saying, telling people don't send money to the GoFundMe, but making it seem as though, oh, we don't know, we haven't verified. She had verified it. She had verified it. And let's take a listen.
I just need everybody not to donate any money to anyone, not to Jexie Gibbs, not to any GoFundMe, not to change.org, nothing. There is no secondary fundraiser for Adriana Younge at this time. So please do not donate money to anywhere at this time until the family or someone from the legal team put out a fundraiser. Thanks, guys. Hi guys, I just need everybody not to donate any money to anyone, not to Jexie Gibbs, not to any GoFundMe, not to change.org, nothing. There is no secondary fundraiser for Adriana Younge at this time. So please do not donate money to anywhere at this time until the family or someone from the legal team put out a fundraiser. Thanks guys. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah. Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm okay. Just regarding the situation with Adriana, the GoFundMe link, I tagged it in your last video. It's in the comment that's made by her mom's cousin, I believe. So anybody who wants to donate to that, you can just go to that link. If you can copy it and then paste it, you can get the money from that, okay?
Oh, so is that the official one? It's definitely for the family?
Yeah, that's definitely confirmed by the family that it's definitely going to their family, and all the proceeds will be going to her mom and dad. So just for that, so you're just aware of it, the GoFundMe is in your last video.
Thank you so much, Duchess.
No problem.
Thank you. We love that. Thank you for doing
Have
that.
a good one.
And you. No, that's what I was trying.
Hayley, if you check WhatsApp, I just sent you the link, direct link to that GoFundMe.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'll have a look. Thank you so much, Michael. Oh. Yeah, they kept reporting. I kept getting it from reports, Jess. So that's really annoying. I kept getting it from the actual reports coming over. Michael's voice is really cool. It says, I am cousin with Adriana's mother. It's with a heavy heart we shared the unexpected passing of Adriana Younge. So the dad said it's Young without the E. But then the GoFundMe's with the E on the end. And surely if it was family, they would know that. That's what makes me paranoid about these things. But how do I know if it really is? So 35... I think it is. $35,000 US have been raised so far. Is there oh, thank you for subbing. Is there a thing where in certain, because I know in other places it's happened, if it's a female.
So we do see that Hayley Comet knew about Alana Trott's GoFundMe from very early on, within the first 5 days of her demise, her unfortunate demise. But yet, we just heard she still continues for her benefit to create these false narratives so that she can continue to incite, false urgency so that she can benefit from crowdfunding sources, create false narratives to cause dissension between. It is so much negativity that is attached around Hayley Comet when she embeds herself into family that are going through horrific tragedy. And so this is not hate for those that are listening. This is not hate. This is me, other people that are appalled at anyone taking advantage of families during a time of crisis. And this woman, literally, while she just said, don't give to Jexie or whatever, this woman has multiple cases that she's aligned herself with that we just heard. She's crowdfunding for multiple cases at the same time. So that's a lot of money being exchanged through this woman's avatar, for lack of better terms. Now, I want you all to take a look at something as well. This is another case where she raised funds and then claimed to, and I put it on the last post, but just in case you didn't see it, claimed that, oh, it was fraud. It's just too many questionable things. Can't keep happening every case all the time. Take a look at this.
Oh my god. As in 1,000 UK dollars or 1,000... Not that it makes a difference, but it makes a huge difference to how much money it is. Please no one send any more money. Or contact your bank and say it's fraud. As quick as you can. Let me just leave a voice note. I've just been on my live and I've just alerted people to not send money, and loads of my people have already sent him money. Some have sent him a lot of money. Oh my god, contact your bank straight away. Because I literally last night I thought, okay, if he's working with the family, you sent 1k US dollars. Oh my god. His name's Jexy Gibbs on Facebook. Oh. 3 of my people have sent him 1,000 US dollars.
3 people. 3 people. 3 people alone. Just 3 people out of the almost 300,000 K followers that this woman has. That was just 3 people within an amount of minutes that sent $3,000. That's a lot of money for some people. And only to find out she's claiming it was fraud. These are the things that we should have conversations about, the awareness that we want to bring. And remember, this is a woman who is profiting off of other people's pain, and that's not right. Let's take a look at one of her followers, and we're going to get out of here on that note. Got 2 more clips, and we'll get out of here. But let's take a look at one of her followers who was really hurt. And one of these people we talked to that came up and said about there is insider bullying. Like, you are made to not talk to other people, not ask questions. If you ask any questions about anything that's questionable about Hayley Comet's actions, or behaviors, you get blocked, you get talked about, you get kicked out of the club. And that's not healthy. And that's not what true crime, now that I've done my research, should be about or is about. Look at one of the things that one of her people wrote. She got us followers to sign a petition. We trusted because she told us who this person was. Well, turned out to be a scammer. She was so rude, and her mods basically saying it's our own fault. And some in her box said, "How dare we complain about signing when big creators have sent gifts?" Can you see that? She got us followers to sign a petition. We trusted because she told us who this person was. Well, turned out to be a scammer. She was rude, and her mods, meaning moderators, people that have the authority to kick people out of your group or your lives, basically saying it's our own fault. Now, does that sound like a good-natured person that truly are covering these cases from a heartfelt place to just bring awareness? And that's it. That is all these true crime content creators are supposed to be doing. It's just bring awareness. That is it. Leave it right there. Do not engage and get totally entrenched in family's business. More proof of just how off the rails this woman is as it pertains to people's tragedy, people's grievances, people's cases. Remember, we talked about this last time. This is what she sent to Alana, the same woman who's a blood cousin that we just heard she was arguing with. F off, Alana. I've done more for Adriana than you ever could. You're spiteful, malicious, and not for one day have you had good intentions, etc., etc., etc. This is what she sent to the cousin who was attempting to advocate for her family because enough is enough. These family members are tired of Hayley. They have asked, now numerous family members have asked her to clear off. It is not because they want to cover up the case. So I want to be very clear because all these comments, they're just tired of her because she's creating more harm. These people have a fight against them, and she's not helping because she needs content. She needs to be attached to something of a big magnitude to keep her live pro, to keep her monetization. So she's going to sift through this whole thing, this whole case, to attach herself somewhere, even at the lowest hanging fruit, because now she no longer has direct contact. The family have literally said, "We're not talking to you anymore." And we'll end on that note. Let's take a look.
answer anything new, like don't do lives about it, and I've been really respectful and come back and just said like anything there's anything new, like I would never do that. I've not asked the family to come on my platform because we had to wait. Thank you, Mel. Thank you guys. So I've been really respectful of that, and then in the meantime we're going on other shows and we're out in new information. It's just a little bit like we need to be working on the same page, and we need to keep flooding the internet, in my opinion, with daily stuff about Adriana to keep the pressure on. And since the funeral, we've stopped, and everyone's stopped because there's nothing new to talk about. And that is the way they're going to get away with it, because they're going to be like, okay, we buried it, it's over. I might speak to the lawyer I speak to and just say to him, like, what is the plan of action? Because I'm struggling to produce new content based off of nothing. And I honestly do think the reason why we were moving it so much is because everyone was talking about it all the time, and there was this campaign of justice, and that's just stopping now.
But I think, see, when you asked about the children's statement as well, obviously where the brother and sister scene,
Yeah.
I don't see why they didn't answer that, because that's nothing new. Like, things have come out, like the granny have said in her interviews, like, what they have said. So I don't see why they can't tell you that, but they can go onto a podcast and spout things that have never been said before. Like, that don't make sense to me.
You know, that's kind of how I feel a little bit, and I feel like I've been really respectful. Like, I've never asked them to come on my show. I've never asked Amicia to come on here and speak, even when, like, people were saying I was scamming the family, all that stuff. I never asked her to, because she's the mum, she's grieving, she's going through so much. I never would. But these other TV shows and stuff, like, every now and again, that like there's a new show, one new bit of information will come out, and it's like we need to just put it all together and just be like, this is what happened, this is what we believe happened, this is what we know from that day. And I was.
Now, before we get out of here, let's just be very clear. Let's really focus on this. She stated, and I'm going to play it one more time for those in the back that don't like to listen or didn't hear. She stated the family said they don't want her discussing the case at all anymore. They're not discussing anything with her because they're in an active investigation. But I really also, from hearsay and being close enough to people and a particular family member, they've now that things have settled a little bit more, that Adriana has been placed on consecrated grounds, that they're able to now get all of the information and all of the feedback that people have been giving the family about what Hayley has been doing behind the scenes, and even some of it on stage that was very detrimental and not helpful to the family. And in fact, it was a bit pseudo attacking, for lack of better terms. So this is her acknowledging, or we're seeing she's technically speaking a little bit salty, because now the person who was feeding you that information about Stefan and Granny and so forth has now even said, hey, at this point, we're not discussing anything further with you. So we need you to back off. Don't talk about the case. And you can see the L person, her right hand person, is literally like in their feelings as well. Well, I don't understand why aren't they talking? But they're going on other platforms and talking with them. We hear a lot of times Hayley talk about, oh, my haters, oh, they hating on me, they're jealous. Does that not sound like hate to you? Because now you have been literally given I won't say the cold shoulder, but I'll say you have been asked to gracefully bow out. Both sides of the family now, maternal and paternal, are saying, don't cover this case anymore. So for all of the people that are saying, oh, they don't want, the family doesn't want Hayley to cover the case because they don't want the truth to come out, it's not necessarily that. I don't believe that's the case, particularly on the maternal side, Amisha's side. They just don't want any more distractions. All of this is white noise. None of what she brings to the table has anything to do with getting justice. So before we get out of here, let's play it one more time and we'll get out of here.
And I was told, like, don't ask any new questions, we won't answer anything new, like, don't do lives about it. And I've been really respectful and come back and just said, like, anything there's anything new, like, I would never do that. I've not asked the family to come on my platform because we had to wait. Thank you, Mel. Thank you guys. So I've been really respectful of that. And then in the meantime, we're going on other shows and we're out in new information. It's just a little bit like we need to be working on the same page, and we need to keep flooding the internet, in my opinion, with daily stuff about Adriana to keep the pressure on. And since the funeral, we've stopped, and everyone's stopped because there's nothing new to talk about. And that is the way they're going to get away with it, because they're going to be like, okay, we buried it, it's over. I might speak to the lawyer I speak to and just say to him, like, what is the plan of action? Because I'm struggling to produce new content based off of nothing. And I honestly do think the reason why we were moving it so much is because everyone was talking about it all the time, and there was this campaign of justice.
We all heard that. I'm struggling to produce new content because you're a content creator. You're not a criminologist. You're not a detective. You're not a private investigator. You are nothing that holds any merit as it pertains to investigating cases from a professional, stoic standpoint of view. So, for those again, we're asking the question before we get out of here: is Hayley Comet a helpmate to people's cases, or is she a hindrance? That is the question that we really need to ask ourselves. And for all of you content creators on TikTok, YouTube that are promoting this woman, I want to leave you with this. When more of the truth about Hayley and the harm that she's caused families comes out, I want you all of you to remember how much you advocated and argued and called people out of their names. We need Hayley Comet. Hayley has brought so much to Guyana. We love Hayley. She's our queen. We need Hayley. When all of the light is shined on the horrific things that she has done and that she is doing to families, I want you all to ask yourself, what part did I play because I promoted this woman so that she would go on to another family and continue the same vicious, parasitic, routine actions that she does with every family member. So I want to thank you for joining. As always, I'm Miss Snap, Sister Snap, however you want to call me as it pertains to Snap, with as long as we snapping together and bringing truth, facts, and justice as it pertains to families. And whether Hayley Comet should even be at this point reporting on anybody's active case. Cold cases, maybe so. But active and live cases, the question that we're posing is, does she help or hinder? I hope you like this content. I hope it was enlightening for you. If you're new to my channel, it would be so beautiful. Drop a like if you like the information. Definitely share it because it's just about bringing awareness. And please, if you can, leave a comment, engage. Let me know what you're thinking. Logical, respectful comments are welcome. So, see you next time. Peace and blessings.